Hey!
Hey, sorry I'm a bit late, my friend.
Oh no, my speaker's not on.
Oh,
Power off.
oh,
Line in.
Eh, come on.
oh man, you totally made my day.
Dude, this is like Christmas for me.
Let's go. I had
This
no
is,
idea. I had an interview today. I didn't even look. I was just like rolling through my regular CEO day and just and then suddenly it's like, oh yay, I get to play for a
yeah, you
bit.
get to do some rock star shit.
Let's go. Hey, I love your tie, man. That is a nice tie. People green ties forever.
Thanks, man. I went to Lowe's. It cost more money than I thought it would, but anything for you, Sean, anything for you.
Thanks, brother.
I couldn't
Appreciate it.
find decent green hairspray, but it's there.
Wow, you went all out, man. I appreciate it. You're amazing. That's
Yeah, well,
funny.
like you're making the time for me. I got to put in some effort for you, right?
That's a lot of effort. That's a lot of effort.
Not really. I
And is
live
that
upstairs from
cigarette
a.
pillow just for me? Because that is so cool.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, that's good. That's really funny.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fun one. How's your day going?
Good. Yeah, it's been a long week. It's what Friday, and I'm like, woof.
Yeah.
I my life is beautiful but crazy. I just like have one thing after the other, and just gotta carry on having my fun. It's great.
That's
Yeah.
it, man. That's it. Well, you're obviously a busy man. Do you want to get stuck straight into the interview, or do you want to just chat for a moment and warm up?
Your call. We could give me a little bit. Actually, give me a little background. What kind of interview do you want to do?
Look,
Just general.
I've
Is
got
this
a
a
handful of questions here. Mostly focusing on like your process and everything because you've got such a unique style.
Thanks, man.
You
Appreciate
know,
it.
like I don't know. It's like Jane's Addiction produced by Phil Collins.
Right. I uh I like to consider myself genre fluid. So like whatever you want to throw at me, you throw at me, man. I will take it. Whatever you hear, I love it. And
Genre fluid.
those are two remarkable artists. So any comparison to them is just honorable. So thanks, man.
Dude, I've been following you since Unicorn.
Oh wow.
Um
You're one of the OGs.
yeah,
Hey,
dude. Yeah. Like
let's not lose any energy. Let's get into the interview. Let's
all right,
go.
sweet, sweet, sweet.
Is this a visual interview?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to change into the Sean Stevens music costume, or is this cool?
I mean, isn't it the same?
Yeah, it's basically a slightly different green tie, but yeah. So let's go. You get a unique
It's
green
a
tie today.
slightly different green tie. It makes
This
all the
is like
difference.
this is a CEO green tie and my CEO look, and it's a different tie for music. That's about it.
Hey, look, if you want to change, if that helps you
No, no, no,
get
we're
in the
good.
zone.
Let's go. Let's go. That'll be something funny to talk about.
All
The
right,
fact that I'm
sweet,
full
sweet, sweet.
CEO attire.
Um, dude, you've been grinding out your music for years before Rectangular. Like I want to start off by like, yeah, going back even pre-Unicorn. Like, what's something that you think out of your old catalog people should check out?
Whoa, that's a really good question. I in the catalog that goes back to my original days. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of different records I did. I did one record to played a lot. I was doing a lot of cafes and just playing me and a guitar, and I couldn't afford studio time, so I went into a studio and I played one record, one shot, every song, all in a row, in an hour, and then took that recording, cut it all up, and in the next sort of half an hour, and released that as a record. And so literally, I mean, I practiced and practiced and practiced, and it was a one-shot record. So that's a really interesting record. A lot of people like to listen to if you're sort of going to the original Sean Stevens. I mean, I literally wrote that stuff when I was as a teenager.
Is that
So
like the Chaos System era, or is that
no, then I went through a number of different bands, and then the Chaos System started to really get some traction. I mean, we had radio play on college stations, and we're playing all the local college stations and local bars. And we had a couple of like running gigs at famous Canadian bars, and we were doing good. And the Chaos System kind of changed memberships a number of times. So, there's a lot of great stuff buried in that Chaos System. So, for example, my kids, who are my greatest critics, I would say, they might like something like Time Out, which is got my original double bassist and a bunch of other musicians, or Figure It Out, which is like just like it's down down da da down 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 down. So a lot of different sort of musical genres and that stuff. But you know the record that I really love that's really just been lost is the latest band I played with, which is the Distractions. We did a record called In Between, and In Between, like everybody missed it. And it was my bad. It's actually what got me onto social media is because we made this amazing record. It took like 4 years. I put my soul into it, and then yeah, I put it online, and both people who listened to it said it was like amazing. But you know that the point of making music is that more people than the band numbers wise than the band listen to your music. I mean, that's sort of the goal.
Oh, look, that yeah, definitely a good goal. That's a good benchmark to aim for. Um, man, I was just listening to Bike earlier. Um,
Right.
I actually found a music video for that buried in the deep recesses of YouTube.
Wow.
And I think
Tug
that
hard.
has Gary Lowe singing, doesn't it?
In the background, yeah, maybe. No, it's got Friendliness, who's another Canadian musician.
Right.
But I'm impressed that you even know Gary Lowe is, from Big Sugar. And
Yep.
he kind of left the Canadian, not left. I mean, Big Sugar had sort of gone its different ways, and Gary was involved. I mean, just an established Canadian musician. He was in dozens of bands at the time, but we were one of the bands he was in, and you can hear him like as soon as he sort of takes over, you're hearing at the bottom of everything. But there's another, I'm going to say unknown. It's not unknown to Canadians, but a musician named Friendliness, who's
Mm.
I mean, just a reggae hip hop legend, and he's the guy in the background doing a lot of that work. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. Like I met these guys, well, Big Ship Gary was pretty big, but most of the people I played with back then are now getting to be known better in their, so they've continued on as musicians. And so I get to look back and be like, yeah, I knew that guy. Yeah, I knew that guy. Yeah, like, we were all friends. The music world is like tiny, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally, totally.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you've like really worked with over the years? I know that in Square you have like a band in the video. Um, is there anybody that's been like pretty consistent?
Yeah, a bunch of people who are consistent. One would be, I mean, my drummer, Giles Collins.
I was gonna say Giles.
Yeah, man, that guy has been with me since the dawn of time. And there's been a number of times where I laid on the floor and said, I'm never playing music again. And that boy picked me up so many times, shook me off, brushed me off, and was like, Sean, get back at it. And lately, so we're actually working, I think we have 32 different tracks we're working on right now, which is really funny. And it's all him, man.
That's
The guy just pull, he is such an incredible musician. He just continually cranks out the beautiful work. So it's cool that way.
that's a
Another really,
huge output. Yeah. So sorry,
and then
please, please, please. It's your interview.
thank you, sir. I don't mean to interrupt. No,
No, no,
the
no. I'm
host get
interrupting.
all
Go, go, go.
the. So the in the background of the music video, there's a guitarist, and there's another band, which is not a Canadian band, LA band called People Are Ugly. And so what's really funny is like nobody knows this connection. So I'm sort of now showing it on this interview. So they're playing Lollapalooza. I mean, this is a really hilarious. And it was just sort of four guys that decided they were going to play stuff. Anyway, I've got a great story. Few people don't know, so here it is. My guitarist from the Distractions was busy, like super busy over the course of months because he has a side company, does a whole bunch of other stuff. And my original guitarist Dave, he is really active in his current band, and so he doesn't want to step out of too much of the line. And so I reached out to those guys and I was like, hey, would you guys play in my band? I've got all this music coming. And they were kind of like, yeah, when we have time. And then I waited a couple of months and I'm like, okay, I got to go find somebody else. So I walked into the local record store in the city here called The Arts, and The Arts has it's this amazing music store. Like that's one of the reasons why Newmarket has so many great musicians is we have a great music store that's super well done. And I walked up to my buddy at the front desk, and the guy at the front desk, Daryl, sorry, he I go, hey, how's the music scene these days? Do you know any great guitarists? And he's like, what do you mean great guitarists? I'm like, okay, I want you to tell me who the best guitarist in the entire of Toronto is right now. And he's like, honestly, I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, is it Mike Bowell? because that's like a local guy who's we've done work with in the past. He's like, yeah, well, Mike Boel's amazing, but honestly, Mike Boel's really busy. This kid right here is amazing. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. This is like a guy
Yeah, yeah,
standing
yeah,
right
yeah, yeah,
beside him.
yeah.
And he's like, honestly, this is the best guitarist I've ever seen. I'm like, whatever, dude. Whatever.
Sure.
And like he's here, like whatever. And so I go to him and I'm like, hey, Julian Del Grosso, hey, are you available? And he's like, yeah, man, I got some time. I'll do some stuff. And he's like, I just got signed by a band in LA, and so I'm going to be off in a bit, but I'll do some stuff with you. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So we start playing. Like, he basically made me give up guitar. Like, I'm never playing guitar again after watching this guy play. He's so good. Like every style, like it just embarrasses me how good he is. And I'm like, hey, could you play something like this? He's like, yeah, absolutely. Like he gave me so many interesting ideas and tracks and different stuff. And so, yeah, a lot of the stuff is just coming out of that guy's brain. Anyway, he's hard to get in touch with now because they're on tour constantly. They're crushing it.
Yeah.
They're growing like crazy. We sort of started at the same time, and their band is growing unbelievable. Very different genre, so nobody would ever guess that this like boys band is
Mm.
connected to me at all. So that's
It,
really funny. And
it
then it's
is
funny.
such a small world.
He's in LA, and his I think it was his drummer. Oh no, his singer came up to him and said, "Hey, you got to check out this thing that's going viral. It's Rectangular." And Julian's like, actually, I'm the guitarist on that. And then they're like, and the band's like, no, you're not. I was like, no, I am. I play guitar on that. It was very funny. His band didn't even know that he was going viral. So very, very
Oh,
funny.
that's wild, man. Like, and when you talk about like your guitar playing is also very much like its own beast. That slap acoustic that you do.
Thanks, man. Yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm a bass player, so I've got to ask, have you ever thought about like transferring that to a bass guitar and just seeing what happens?
I think I actually brought it from a bass guitar, so I learned how to do that ish on a bass guitar, and then I'm like, why don't we do this on a guitar? And where that kind of came from originally was I was given a pick. I didn't take guitar lessons. I didn't have the money, so I was stuck in a basement, just learning how to play guitar by myself. And whoop, are we still connected?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's just dropped out for a second, but I've got audio, I think. Yeah. Yeah,
Did I
well,
lose you?
yeah.
We're back.
Rectangles,
Cool.
bro, rectangles.
Let's go. Right? The world is all rectangles. So yeah, I started playing in the basement all by myself, trying to learn how to play guitar all by myself, and ultimately, that led to me not playing properly, fundamentally, but me thinking of the guitar more, trying to think of it differently. And I realized there's all these great guitarists around me, even at the time. I grew up in Winnipeg, when I first started learning,
Yeah.
and there's another Canadian band called Propagandhi, and the lead singer of Propagandhi kind of taught me how to play. Literally, I'd go to high school and he'd be on the steps of the high school and he'd like teach me guitar progressions, and then I'd run home and like try to play them, try to play them, try to play them. Uh,
What?
that's kind of,
What? That's
have you heard?
that's that's fucking crazy. Propaganda.
Yeah. John from Propagandhi, the original, the
Yeah.
OG. He's not part of it anymore, I don't
No,
think.
no,
He
no, but
started the. I went on to start. Oh, what is that other famous Canadian band that I don't remember? Anyway, all very funny. The Weaker Thans. He went to start the Weaker Thans. So, yeah.
that's I didn't expect that sort of like yeah, because we're primarily a metal and punk station. Although I
Okay.
do split a little bit of the Sean Steves. But man, that's an unbelievable connection. I would never have picked that, but like listening to some of the Chaos System stuff, like it's there.
Yeah. Always getting pulled back to punk a little bit, man.
And like
So,
and that reggae stuff that you used to do as well. Like that's that in 2010's version of Mom Kulu,
right.
that's
Yeah.
way more reggae
Yes.
than
Yeah. Well,
than the than
that
the
was
new
kind of
one.
Gary and Giles playing around in the background, doing some reggae stuff together. I mean, they have a deep history of reggae. Giles, so the original producer of the Chaos System, or even going back to the Sean Stevens hat trick, is John Forbes. And John Forbes, who was my like original mentor through music through the early 2000s, he played with Peter Tosh, he played with Alice Cooper. He was Sly and Robbie was like on the daily with like part of that whole reggae was Jamaican,
Yeah.
so was really connected to the Jamaican music scene. Was the first guy in Canada to have a Moog. So he was kind of the guy behind so many artists just going blah, 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 blah. It was the first guy with
Yeah.
that sound that you could go get. And so that kind of reggae influence kind of sucked into the things that we were doing. And so there's another really well-known session player named Alex King. And you'll see Alex King is like one of the all the way through everything. He's a local music teacher. So we call him Teach. And
Nice.
man, that guy's been on more records than like he's just like the hidden guy on so many records as Teach or Alex. He has, all these nom de plumes because he doesn't really care. He just shows up. Give me any instrument, give me a tuba, give me whatever. And then he just plays, these amazing things. And then he leaves. It's amazing.